Yo, what's up guys? This is Gangsta Jabs, and I had 50 Mech Arena pros help me rank every mech specific implant from worst to best. Shout out to these 50 Mech Arena pros for helping me out with the video, and 4 of these Mech Arena pros were subscribers. They did well in the Mech Arena pro quiz I made, so congrats to them. If you want to be in my next pro tier list video, then stay tuned for a Mech Arena pro quiz in my community posts. I will select 5 winners who got the highest scores to be in my next video. And the rules are simple. A D tier response gets 1 point, C tier response gets 2 points, B tier response gets 3 points, A tier response gets 4 points, and S tier response gets 5 points. And I took all these responses and averaged them out, and depending on how high the average is, that's what tier the implant goes in. So here's all the implants from 34th place to 21st place. So the 2 Arachnos implants are in the D tier just because Arachnos is such a useless mech. And both of the stasis time implants went in the C tier. All these implants do is make the stasis of the ability longer. It doesn't even make the duration longer. And since the stasis of these abilities aren't very useful, it makes these implants very niche. And the implants in the B tier are kind of meh. They're okay in some situations, but they're not very useful implants. I wouldn't recommend investing in any of these implants since there's so much better implants out there. So first and 20th place is the Cheetah Mind Damage implant, which has an average of 3.0. This makes it in the B tier. The implant makes Cheetah's mines much more deadly, but Cheetah is just not a very good mech in the meta right now. Next in 19th place is the Aegis Dome Radius implant with the average of 3.12. This makes it in the B tier. This is a decent implant, especially for capturing beacons. Next in 18th place is the Juggernaut Shield Durability implant with the average of 3.24. This makes it in the B tier. This makes Juggernaut a total tank, but Juggernaut is just not that great of a mech in the meta right now. Next, tied for 16th place is the Ares Wide Shield Durability and the MD Heal Speed implant. They both have an average of 3.26. This makes them in the B tier. The Ares Shield implant also makes Ares a tank, and the MD Heal Speed is a must-have if you use MD, but MD is also struggling in the meta right now. Next in 15th place is the Stalker Predator Drive Heal implant with an average of 3.36. This makes it in the B tier. This is actually a really good bot killing implant since you can farm heals, but it's not too great against players. Next in 14th place is the Shadow Stealth Speed implant with an average of 3.42. This makes it in the B tier. I'm estimating this makes Shadow's speed almost 40 kilometers per hour while he's using the ability. This is a good implant for speeding around if you use Shadow. Next, tied for 12th place is the Orion Shield Piercing implant and the Lancer Jump Distance implant. They both have an average of 3.46. This makes them in the B tier. The Shield Piercing implant makes it so shields are almost useless, but not a lot of people are using Ares and Juggernaut right now, so it's not too useful. In the Lancer Jump Distance implant makes Lancer a beast. This is a must-have if you use Lancer. Next in 11th place is the Orion Mark Stasis implant with an average of 3.59. This makes it in the A tier. This is a decent implant if you like Orion a lot. Next in 10th place is the Surge Dash Radius implant with an average of 3.66. This makes it in the A tier. I was surprised this implant was ranked so low. I think this is one of the most underrated implants in the game. That extra 5 meters might not seem like a lot, but it makes a huge difference. This implant with the Surge Dash Distance implant is a deadly combo. Next in 9th place is the Overcharger Damage implant with an average of 3.76. This makes it in the A tier. This is a complete must-have implant for Brickhouse. It not only affects its own damage boost, but affects the team damage boost as well. The only reason it's not higher on the list is because Brickhouse is struggling in the meta right now. Next in 8th place is the Killshot Dash Damage implant with an average of 3.86. This makes it in the A tier. This is a pretty solid implant for Killshot, but the dash distance is way better. Next in 7th place is a Skystrike Stealth implant with an average of 4.1. This makes it in the A tier. This implant makes it so you can almost get a perma stealth with Tengu. Next in 6th place is the Killshot dash distance implant with the average of 4.12. This makes it in the A tier. If you use Killshot, I'd highly recommend using this implant. The amount of mobility you can get with this implant is crazy. Next in 5th place is a Tengu Skystrike damage implant with an average of 4.3. This makes it in the A tier. This is definitely the best implant on Tengu and it makes Tengu's jump lethal. Next in 4th place is a Surge dash distance implant with the average of 4.54. This makes it in the S tier. This is a must-have implant on Surge. I'd highly recommend investing in it if you haven't already. This makes it so you can stun people from almost 68 meters away, and with the radius implant that becomes 73 meters. Next in 3rd place is a System Crash range implant with an average of 4.78. This makes it in the S tier. If you were lucky enough to get this implant, I'd highly recommend you to max it out as soon as possible and put it on Guardian. It's a game-changing implant. Next in 2nd place, right above Guardian, is a Zephyr pulse range implant with an average of 4.82. This makes it in the S tier. I would also highly recommend maxing out this implant and using on Zephyr. And in 1st place is a Stalker Predator Drive damage implant with an average of 5.0. Every single pro ranked this as an S tier implant. This shows how OP of an implant it is. Stalker is already a really strong mech, and with this implant, he's one of the most broken mechs in the game. He definitely needs a nerf. I'd highly recommend putting this implant on your disc pilot and using it with disc. A fully maxed Stalker disc with this implant dealing back damage with a Predator Drive active can deal up to 346,000 damage per mag. That is an absolutely crazy amount of damage. And here's the final mech specific implants tier list. If you have any of these S tier implants, I'd highly recommend maxing them immediately. And I think it's a good idea to invest in the A tier implants if you use the mech a lot. If you don't use the mech a lot, then I'd go for mech neutral implants like the ability cooldown or the ability duration. And I wouldn't recommend investing in any of the implants B tier and lower, besides maybe the Lancer jump distance. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys.